Do you want to learn more about the latest science in reproductive medicine? Explore content from the Fertility and Sterility family of journals, including the newest journals, FNS Reviews, FNS Science, and FNS Reports, all included in your ASRM membership. For even more content, follow Fertility and Sterility on social media, listen to the FNS On Air podcast, and participate in the Journal Club Global and FNS webinar series. To learn more about the Fertility and Sterility family of journals and its multimedia content options, visit fertstert.org. That's fertstert.org.
Welcome to ASRM Today, a podcast that takes a deeper dive into the current topics in reproductive medicine.
I'm Jeffrey Hayes. Today on the show, we welcome back Dr. Gloria Richard Davis to the program, who is here to talk about the ASRM Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force. Dr. Richard Davis is Executive Director, Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Professor, Reproductive Endocrinology and Infertility, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, the University of Arkansas Medical Sciences. Dr. Richard Davis, thank you so much for being with us today.
Jeff, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited always to talk to you.
It's been so long. I feel like we haven't spoken in quite some time.
It has been. And so, I'm sure you've been busy. We've been busy.
Yes, very busy. So new year, new things on the horizon, 2023. What exactly is on the docket this year for the ASRM Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force?
So we are officially a working committee, and we have been in effect for a year now. So we really are excited about that. From the committee's perspective, and I don't know if we talked about this, just the composition of the committee. It's 12-member and it's very diverse, but we also have ASRM leadership. So the CEO, the education officer, the policy officer, and our president-elect sits on our committee as well. And we were divided into two subcommittees because when we look at what our charge is as a committee, it's really to address and improve the diversity in our workforce in reproductive medicine. So that really, includes all of the disciplines that rolls up under ASRM. So we're not talking necessarily just about the providers. And then to really look at the education material, all of the patient-facing communications that comes out of ASRM with an equity lens to ensure that the language and the images are consistent with ASRM's commitment to diversity. And I do have to say that ASRM's leadership is very much committed to diversity and have been very supportive of the work that we do. So we're excited about that. And we have a grant through ASRM, a diversity fellowship grant. And so we have members on the committee who reviews those proposals that are submitted. We're also working on establishing a mentoring program. ASRM already had a mentoring program where for each conference, they invite residents from the local programs to come in and shadow some of the REIs and get and have presentations from them. So we're going to partner with them and ensure that we are focusing on inviting the OBGYN residents that are in, and actually urology as well, that are in programs in the city that we are hosting our conference. And so we're really excited about that. We did some of that in Los Angeles when we were there. I guess it was Disney, right? Anaheim.
Yeah,
Anaheim. Still Los Angeles to me. But so we did that. We invited some of Charles Drew, which is a historically Black medical school in LA. We had some of their OB resident and urology resident to come up and shadow us and meet the leadership. And they were really excited about that opportunity. They also interviewed with Mike Simone on ASRM.
Yeah.
And he did a phenomenal job of that. I think they were most excited. I shouldn't say this, but the exhibit booth was a huge hit with them. They were just overwhelmed.
Yes. So for 2023 in New Orleans, you're mentioning that we're going to be bringing people in again. Is there any is there any beans to be spilled as far as do we have any DEI type presentations or speakers or things of that nature?
Absolutely. I happen to be a native Louisianian, went to medical school in New Orleans, practiced in New Orleans for a long time. So obviously I have a lot of connections and commitment to the city. So the things that we have on the docket for this year's conference is we submitted a postgraduate course on reproductive justice. And so that was accepted. We really are excited about presenting that work on Sunday in our postgraduate courses. And of course, every year, the Health Disparities Special Interest Group and Fibroids have a number of oral and poster presentations that really focus on diversity, on really looking at research in the area of any impact on women of color. And so I don't know exactly how many of those we have this year, but prior to the meeting, we usually go through the program, identify those, and make sure that all the members have a list of those presentations to support it.
That is wonderful, and we're all very excited because we're all getting ready. New Orleans is going to be such a fun time, and such a great city to have to host us, and we're all excited. What is the best way for people to get in touch to learn more about what's going on with the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force? Certainly,
they're always welcome to email me at Richard Davis at UAMS. And Melissa Grigsby is our liaison for ASRM. So getting in touch with Melissa. Melissa works in the policy and advocacy area. So communicating with Melissa would also be a great way. But I do get a lot of emails and texts from people who are interested. And so we have, our committee is fairly small. It's much smaller than our task force was. So we have 12 members that serve a 1 to 3 year term, kind of staggered, so that we have about a third that rolls off in a year. And we are keeping a list of people who have voiced an interest in working with the committee or doing work in this area. We're also working on our mentoring program. And so we are looking for mentors specifically to work with second, third year OBGYN residents that are in programs that doesn't have a fellowship, and to help them develop a research project that they can work on to submit abstracts to ASRM. And so we have established a steering committee for that particular project, and they will be finalizing sort of the format of how we do this. But we will be supporting 3 awards, many awards, obviously. We don't have that much money. So
not yet.
No. So many awards across the country, so that the mentors and the residents will have some funding to conduct their research and travel to ASRM.
Well, this is all just exciting and wonderful news. And I just wanted to thank you for being able to take time out to speak with us today about this.
Well, we are very excited about this work and look forward to bringing you more updates in the future. And
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and just keeping you updated and in the loop.
And we'll make sure to post also some links to help people stay in touch and to find out, and we'll put that in our show notes. Until next time, you can get in touch with us, of course, as always. You can email me, asrm@asrm.org, to subscribe, rate, and do whatever you want to listen to the show, I hope. You can find us on Apple, Google, or whatever your favorite podcatcher is. And until next time, I'm Jeffrey Hayes, and this is ASRM Today.
This concludes this episode of ASRM Today. For show notes, author information, and discussions, go to asrmtoday.org. This material is copyrighted by the American Society for Reproductive Medicine and may not be reproduced or used without express consent from ASRM. ASRM Today series podcasts are supported in part by the ASRM Corporate Member Council.
The information and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of ASRM and its affiliates. These are provided as a source of general information and are not a substitute for consultation with a physician.